I say this and think of all the opinions that enclave the slave legs of her stories played. Like my feminist friends that scoff and disapproval and ask how or why I could feel this way. And I think to myself, isn't this feminism thing supposed to be about my right to decide what I want to try? I think about boys and the internal noise of the other that tells me it's wrong to spit shit and flip things when I'm angry, as if manners and mercy are managed well in these verses we play. I feel the same type of twinge and digress as I stress to dress up to impress the rest that exerts control over this socialized role. This constant contradiction of my predetermined mold makes fighting between my heart and logic uncontrollable and has manifested itself in advocacy and empathy when on August 4th I dressed up to go to court. After focusing on my hair and what to wear, making sure my shirt went up to here and down to there, and that there were no quips or marker quick quips on my pants or hands. What's wrong? Is he okay? Okay. I'm going to go back a minute. This constant contradiction of my predetermined mold makes fighting between my heart and logic uncontrollable, which manifested itself in advocacy and empathy on August 4th when I dressed up to go to court. After focusing on my hair and what to wear, and making sure my shirt went up to here and down to there, that there were no rips or marker quick clips on my pants or hands, sprayed rose oil around, poisoned eyes with Liner's legacy of intimacy, and walked to the court to exert my expert opinion. Sweet-smelling sprays to lighten the air as I walked to the judge and remembered to glare, bat my lashes slightly, and say, Your Honor, I know she's a fit mother, and you must admit that my wrists do smell lovely, and hips sway quite nicely. I was anxious and frantic and worried that some pompous judge waving his weight would look kinder on us if we played the part right and acted the way good girls might, and then when I walked out, I thought, what the fuck? I think about eyeliner, shadows, and tweezers, and how heels give you varicose veins and knee ulcers. I think about models and magazine drags and the lots of the queens, varying virtue and values and vanity, soaking in who I am should I be with the me I want to be. I think about suntans and racism and the contradiction of these ideals, that you're sexy if you're tan but second class if you're brown. I think about diets and pomegranates and fruits people can't pronounce that restrict our low-class remix and quick fixes for health acquisition. About vegans and veggies and beef and how local grows better and what happens when USC Organic Planet partner with Asgrow and Monsanto and death mates that stomp out small family farmers. I think about what goes in and goes out and how hard organs fight the pollution we put in our mouths and our skin and our minds. About caloric restriction and the sudden affliction to make people healthy with experiments and pills that fix socialized cultures with unsocialized medicines and how McDonald's will fit that into their not-so-dollar menus when it's all the rage in 10 years. And then I flash to the streets and I'm racing and pacing and fighting for our lives. The right to breathe, the right not to breathe, the right to bleed, to believe or not to believe. Fellow friendly firing fighters, I have a message for you. Pennsylvania and the rest of the United States are plummeting into a deep, dark hole of conservative feardom. Feardom is the place and space where xenophobes probe questions with intentions that have only irrational recommendations for the way that our lives should be crafted. While they sit on their high horses laughing about the control they assert over our not-so-socialized roles, with mainstream mongering and forced hearings and not-so-household names like Tyra Clementi, Marion Price, Danny Johnson, Russell Shoads, Abdullah Agjawala, Martin Corey, Brian Church, Yante Harris, Leonard Peltier, Eric McDavid, Angelina Basuna Apong, and Kevin Sabagi, an Iraq war veteran who confronted the cops for the violent plots, and all of Palestine, we wait. We wait to strike for the right moment of messaging, strategizing, and catalyzing comforts. Yet Malcolm X warned us about the media demonizing the meaning of our lives, conversations, and making the people the enemy of the state and stating the fact that blacks, women, Latinos, and immigrants get pushed down in the land of the conservative man. And that the world and the words you assign to the critics make critical mass for the master to hide behind, while they oppress the rest and demonize our resistance. And compromise corrals the crowds to complacency. No pides permiso para algo que ya es tuyo. Because if you ask for permission on the mission of challenging life, but let me tell you, the battle is lost before you have started. Woo!